Now the first order of business is to get this handle off without getting wet, because I've got a little Allen wrench right here, and I think this is 3/32 if I'm not mistaken, but yours might be a different size. There's a little Allen set screw right back up in here, and you can't get it at the right angle or to loosen this until you pull this. And so I've got to get this out far enough. And then I've got to fish around for it. And I got to make sure I don't get the camera wet. And most of the time you can find it. Boy, I'm having a hard time here. So you have to keep messing with it. There, I think I got it. Okay. Now I want to loosen it up, and so I got to pull the handle out far enough to get my wrench turned without hitting the trim. Okay, I want to get that out far enough so I can then pull the handle out. And if you unscrew it too far, the set screw might come out. If you're not paying attention, it can hit on the ground. I should have taken my shoes off. Now my shoes are all wet. Okay, there we go. Now I can turn it back off. See that's what I was trying to hit. There's a little set screw right there. And I was missing it. It's easy to miss, you know. And sometimes I've even gotten a handle off before. Not to fix this, what I'm talking about. But I'm fishing around, and the set screw wasn't even in there. And I jerked on the handle and it came off. Okay. So when you put it back in, you got to make sure the set screw doesn't get up into there at all, or else you're not going to be able to slip it back on. And see, I'll slip it back on later after I get all done. But if that comes out, let's see. If you unscrew it so far and you're thinking, how come, what's the deal? Maybe you're unscrewing it so far because you're not pulling as hard enough, or maybe you're pulling it real hard, but you don't have it unscrewed far enough. Okay, so if you get it off like that, then you can set it in there and just start the threads a little bit. Okay, that's how you take that off. Look at this. My shoe's all wet now, darn it. Oh well, it'll dry, right? Okay. Now this comes off, and this middle goodie comes off. You have to kind of pull on it. Okay, that comes off. Wow, that's a little piece of paper that came off. And look, that was on the inside of that, and that might. I have no idea what that number is. That might be a number where you can give to the hardware, well, a plumbing wholesale house, and maybe that will say something about this. Now before I touch this, I've got to take this trim off. Okay, I'm going to resituate you here so I can get over here properly. You don't want to just start taking this out, because there's some screws in there for the hot water and the cold water, and we're going to shut this off. You can shut it off right here. These screws are really pretty long. You just have to kind of remember how they come off. See how they're at an angle like that, and you might think, okay, I'll remember that. But then you take the screws out. There's 5 screws. You're like, okay, what's going on? But you can still get it. You just look in there and then line up your screw holes, kind of look at it and see. Kind of tricky to fish these screws back in there because they're going really far back in there. You'll see here in a minute. I'm doing a little, this is a service call. Got some guests showing up here pretty quick. So, a few hours, so I think I got enough time to get this fixed. Okay. See how long these screws are? That's because, now I gotta remember how this went. You see what I'm saying? That was up at the top, this one goes right there. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that down here in the corner. Deep in the abyss. See how far the valve is back in there? And see, there's a screw. There's a screw right there, and I believe that's for the cold water. And then there's one over here, and that's for the hot water. I'm pretty sure. So there's no other screws there, and I did talk to somebody. I said, hey, you have to shut the water off to the entire condo, or what's the deal? And I believe this, well, I don't know. I thought it was maybe the hot water side, but I don't know if it is or not. I'm going to kind of keep track of how many screws I tighten that, because I have no idea if you unscrew it all the way out, will the water just start pouring out of here? You know, I need to know that when I get ready to put this all back together, okay? So I'm going to remember this is straight across that way, and this one's pretty close to straight across, okay? So I'm gonna go 1, 2, wow. 1, 2, and 3. That was 3 on the cold water side. Look at that, the water stopped. Okay, that's how we turn the water off. So, yes, I have never done this before. Okay, so the hot water side, well, if I do it tight, that's 2.5. Okay, so now I should be able to take that out. And you see, there's 3 screws there. One there, one there, one there. And we've got to undo that now. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.